noticed that many of my viewers want to know how much money they can expect to make as a lawyer in Ontario. And it makes sense because you're spending so much time and energy into this process and you'd like to know what the return is. Unfortunately, many people don't share their salaries or they don't talk about money, which is sort of unfair for somebody who is looking to qualify as a lawyer in Canada. So I'd like to be transparent and share what I made as an articling student in Ontario. And I'm going to start by talking a bit about who is an articling student. Second, what is the average salary of an articling student in 2023? And my experience, my salary as an articling student in 2020. First, who is an articling student in Ontario? An articling student is someone who graduated from a law school in Canada or a foreign trained lawyer who has completed their NCA qualification exams. What that means is that once you're done your law degree or your NCA exams, you have to go through training in order to be licensed in Ontario. What do I mean by training? Training is basically getting legal experience under the supervision of a lawyer in Ontario. And how do you do that? There are two ways of doing it. One, you find a law firm and a lawyer who is willing to provide you that experience. And all law firms, not all of them, I would say most law firms hire articling students and they train them. If the other way of doing it in Ontario is what we call the law practice program by Ryerson University. Actually, Ryerson changed their name now, which is Toronto Metropolitan University. So law practice program is a program designed to help you fulfill that training component of the lawyer licensing process. So two ways of doing it. Either you article and find a law firm on your own, or you do the law practice program where 4 months you're trained and the next 4 months there's a placement where you are trained by a lawyer. Second, how much can you expect to make as an articling student in Ontario? Your salary will depend a lot on where you work. Some firms have actually not been paying articling students. So basically, they'll get a student and ask them to work for free. This is one of the topics that is being discussed by the Law Society of Ontario right now. And they've actually come up with a new rule that law firms must pay articling students. And we can talk about that. I'll talk more about that in one of my other videos. But for today, it really depends on where you work. So average salary for an articling student in Toronto, Ontario is about 66,000 Canadian dollars per year. And again, I am giving you this number based on the research that I've done, spoken to friends, and I'm gonna put the link in the description box below where you can go and check out the salaries yourself. Now, if you make $66,000 a year, which is for the entire term, if you're working 12 months, you're paying taxes on top of that. So after paying taxes in Ontario, the money that really goes into your pocket is $47,000 roughly, and which monthly is about $3,900 or $3,800. So that's the average salary for an articling student. Now, you can make more or less depending on where you work. Smaller firms can also pay you as low as $30,000 Canadian dollars per year. And bigger Bay Street firms can pay you six-figure salary, which could be 100,000 Canadian dollars per year. Now, something to keep in mind, if you work at a bigger firm, of course you're making a lot more money, but you're also spending a lot more time at these firms. And the way that you're trained is that you're supposed to be there almost 12-hour days. And I have friends who worked at bigger firms, and this was their experience. So if you're looking at a higher salary, you also have to consider, well, what you're actually going to be doing and how much of your time you're going to be spending. As an articling student, I think when you're being trained, spending more time is not bad for you. It's actually good for you because you're getting that experience. But this is the salary range that you're looking at if you want to article in Toronto, Ontario. Now, moving on to my experience and my salary. So I did the law practice program at Ryerson University, and the first 4 months of the program, you don't get paid. So it's basically you are trained by lawyers and you are part of this firm with all of the other students. I've done a video on the law practice program. If you'd like to know more about it, you can watch that. I'm not going to discuss that in detail. If you'd like me to have an updated video, please let me know and I can do that. But it's basically training. First 4 months is training. The next 4 months are when you are placed at a law firm or companies or wherever you get a position and you get paid for that. So first 4 months, I didn't make any money, unfortunately. And the next 4 months, my placement was in-house. So it was at a financial institution. I didn't work at a firm. I worked at a financial institution. And at the time, and this is 2020, at the time, this was a higher salary range, and my salary was not per year because I was only doing 4 months, and it was $30 an hour. $30 an hour, if you look at a yearly salary, it's around $60,000 a year. But again, I didn't work there for a year. I only worked there for 4 months. And it was one of the higher numbers on those placements. Law firms generally tend to pay a little bit less, smaller firms. But at the time, I was very happy that I got this job, and I'm like, finally, I'm gonna make some money. And it was very nice to have that job. I do remember that when I was browsing these law practice program placements, I saw that some placements also offered $40 an hour, which I tried to get, but I didn't get it. But you know, the law practice program has really good opportunities as well, and I think that that was a very good experience for me. If you are an articling student in Ontario and you have subscribed to my channel, please comment below and let us know if you're comfortable sharing what your salary was and how much you made. I want to be more transparent because at the time when I moved to Canada and when I was doing the lawyer licensing process, I had no idea. I don't even know what to ask, what to say, and I feel like for people who are new, this may be very helpful. Thank you for watching. Bye.